Up next on LTV, we have Star Clucks with the 2024 Employee of the Year, Eric and Curtis on Apex Twin.
And me, Jordan Jones, with all your NFL playoff information. All that and more, Lion TV starts now.
Searcy High, and welcome back to another episode of Lion TV. I'm Samuel Stubbs.
And I'm Brooklyn Shaver. Now let's start this week off with some student announcements.
Senior yearbook ads are on sale. Buy online through Jostens or with Miss Cook through February 7th. More information can be found on the school's website. Also, seniors, the 2025 through 2026 FAFSA is now open, so be sure to check it out.
The Capital Scholarship is a scholarship that was created for any individual who wants a future in the construction industry. The scholarship will be available to print off Schoology, or you may pick up a copy in the counselor's office. The deadline for the scholarship is February 15th.
Our SHS cheer team competed in nationals this past weekend and won with a score of 97, bringing them up to first place and making them national champions. Make some time to congratulate the cheer squad on their huge accomplishment.
The care closet has moved from room 531 next to the cafeteria. If you need a change of clothes while you are at school, or need clothes from home at any time, or need any hygiene products, please come to the care closet. Students can also complete volunteer hours by helping with the care closet. If you have any questions, please email Miss Jenna Means at jmeans@searcyschools.org or see her in room 531.
FCCLA shirt money is due this week. The cost is $21 and can be paid to Miss Johnson in room 104. Also, Crush for Your Crush orders will begin this week in the fax room, room 104. The cost is $3, and next week orders can be made at both lunches.
Our school hires many talented and hardworking teachers, janitors, lunch workers, and staff every year.
Starcox has a story about one of these employees that the school has recognized.
Every year, Searcy picks one employee out of the entire district to recognize. This honor celebrates an outstanding individual whose dedication, hard work, and passion for education truly makes a difference for our schools.
Lisa works very closely with the Searcy School District Board of Education. She works right side by side with Dr. Hart, our superintendent, to make sure that everyone is aware of what is going on in our office and keeps them apprised of important information.
Well, that's just it. As she's a colleague, a lot of people say, well, you know, I've always told her that she doesn't work for me, she works with me, and she is a colleague.
Lisa is a colleague of ours, and it's a pleasure to work with her because she is very bubbly. She's a team player, will do anything it takes for the Searcy School District to succeed.
She's always been in it for the betterment of our students and our staff members. When you have employees who think about what's best for kids and best for those who are educating, then you're going to have a successful school system. And I think Lisa is definitely a part of that.
She's just a class act. She treats people with the respect and the dignity, and she values everybody that comes through there. I never had to ask her to be that way. She's just naturally a kind, considerate person.
Lisa's greatest strength is connecting with people and the care and concern that she shows for others.
She is the epitome of what Searcy School District is all about, because she wants to do whatever it takes for us to be successful. She's kind of like the glue in our office that keeps us together.
I couldn't do what I do and couldn't be as effective as I hope that I am without her. She has made the transition. For me coming into the district brand new, she made that transition very smooth and helped me get acquainted with Searcy and with Searcy school systems right off the bat.
I definitely believe that Miss Lisa is a very, very great choice to be the Employee of the Year.
I think the biggest thing that stands out about Lisa is the fact that she treats everyone with respect, and she treats everyone like they're the most important person in the room.
I just could not be happier for Lisa and that she received this honor, especially in a year when she's planning to turn in her retirement. We're going to miss her, but she's the epitome of what it means to be an honorable employee, and she's done great things for Searcy Public Schools.
Thanks, Star, and congratulations to Mrs. Mullins for achieving such an honor. Danny Holcomb, a member of the Jefferson County Quorum Court, has stepped down, citing effects to his health along with concern for the safety and the security of his family. His decision was widely because of the county's budget crisis. The county's budget impasse has now reached a critical point, leading to Jefferson County not being able to pay their employees. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders stated that she's spoken with Judge Robinson ahead of today's meeting, and I'm hopeful this budget gridlock will be solved and Jefferson County government can get back to serving the people.
The White House said Sunday that Colombia has agreed to all of President Donald Trump's terms after Trump threatened to impose sweeping regulatory measures against it, including tariffs and visa sanctions after it was denied entry to 2 U.S. military deportation flights. The government of Colombia has agreed to all the President Trump's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of an illegal aliens of Colombia returned from the United States, including on U.S. military aircraft without limitation or delay.
At least 15 indigenous people in Arizona and New Mexico have reported being stopped in their homes and workplaces, questioned or detained by federal law enforcement, and asked to provide proof of citizenship during immigration raids since Wednesday, according to Navajo Nation officials. The reports, which have caused panic amongst tribal communities in both states, come amid the Trump administration's attempt to ramp up undocumented immigrant arrests nationwide and amass a larger force to carry out the president's deportation pledge.
Last week's weather was unbearable. I could barely go outside without dressing in multiple layers.
Yeah, I'm glad I can finally stand outside for more than 5 minutes without turning into a popsicle.
It's still cold, however, although Bo can tell us for sure if it's going to stay that way.
Good morning, Cersei. Let's get to the weather announcements. Today's high is going to be 60 with mostly cloudy skies and a rain at 22% chance. Your winds at southwest 4 miles an hour and humidity is at 64%. And your sunrise was at 7:08 a.m. On to tonight. Tonight's low is going to be 45 with mostly rainy skies at a rain at 96% chance. Winds at east 6 miles an hour, humidity at 64%, and your sunset at 6:02 p.m. On to the almanac. Last 7 days average was a high of 57, a low of 11, and your monthly average of precipitation is 3.58 inches, and your month to date is 1.33 inches. On to the 5-cast. Thursday's high is going to be 62 with a low of 51 with mostly rainy skies. Friday is going to be a few showers with a high of 64 and a low of 40 with a 33% chance of rain. Saturday is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 58 and a low of 39 with a 7% chance of rain. Sunday is going to be a high of 67 with a low of 42 with a 9% chance of rain. And Monday is going to be a high of 64 with a low of 39 with a 6% chance of rain. Looks like temperatures are starting to warm back up.
They are. Going to feel a lot better outside. But Bo, all this weather talk is making me hungry. What's for lunch today, Brooklyn?
Today for lunch we'll be having chicken nuggets, classic cheese pizza, classic cheeseburger, fajita marinated chicken, ham and Swiss cheese sub, fresh Fuji apple, and milk. Thanks to all of our amazing lunch ladies for all of their hard work.
I've been really wanting to broaden my musical tastes.
Thankfully, Curtis and Eric have a new episode of Discography. They might have a new artist you'll like.
Good morning, Searcy High School. It's Curtis Stevens.
And Eric Crowley.
And today we have a new episode of Discography.
Today we'll be talking about the electronic musician Aphex Twin, whose real name is Richard D. James. He has also produced music under a number of other aliases like AFX, Caustic Window, and The Tuss.
James started making music at the age of 14 and DJ'd at clubs and raves in his teens. His first release was an EP called Analog Bubble Bath, released in 1991.
James has a ton of non-album release under different names. We can't cover all of them in this episode, unfortunately.
We can't talk about his studio albums, though. Thankfully, there's only 7, with his first being Selected Ambient Works 85-92, released in 1992. It received an instant underground reputation and is considered a classic in electronica.
James's next album is fittingly called Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. While his previous album featured many ambient techno beats, This album is devoid of that. It consists of long, droning ambient tracks. James wouldn't do something like this again, at least not with his studio albums.
James's third album was called I Care Because You Do, released in 1995. It marked his return to a beat-driven sound, combining abrasive rhythms with symphonic and ambient elements.
James's next album was released a year later, called Richard D. James Album. It featured fast breakbeats and intricate drum programming paired with lush string arrangements, ambient melodies, and modulated vocals.
5 years later, James released Drugs in 2001. It was a double album featuring rapid, meticulously programmed beats on one side and a mellower classical amp-style piano, ambient, and electro-acoustic pieces on another.
Over 10 years later, in 2014, James released his most recent album under the Aphex Twin name, Cyro. James described it as his pop album pulling influences from techno, synth-punk, and jungle.
Between all of this, James released many other albums, EPs, and singles under different names. Multiple EPs called Analog Bubble Bath under the name AFX, Surfing on Sideways under the name Polygon Window, and Rush Up Edge under the name The Tuss.
His most recent release was the EP Black Locks Life Recorder 21F in a Room 7 F760 under the name Aphex Twin. An expanded version of Selected Ambient Works Volume 2 was released just last year.
Good to see James is still making some music.
Yeah, and I'm curious of what our students here at XHS think about him. What is your favorite Aphex Twin album?
Selected Ambient Works Volume 2.
Well, seriously, that does it for another episode of Discography. This is Curtis Stevens signing off.
And Eric Crowley. Now have a rockin' day, Cersei. Now let's send it back to the news desk. Peace out.
Thank you, Eric and Curtis. I've been meaning to expand my music taste, and you did just that.
You know, Brooklyn, I've been seeing a lot of events happening in the sports world recently.
Same here. Good thing Jordan Jones has all of our weekly sports information for us.
Happy Wednesday, Cersei. Let's head right into some sports updates. In local sports, the SHS boys and girls basketball teams took on Paragould this past Friday night. Chip Johnson would lead our girls with 25 points for the night, taking the game into her own hands with the help of her teammates. Cersei would apply some full-court pressure that seemed to be too much for the Lady Rams to handle, as our Lady Lions went on to get their first conference win of the season, 54-42. The boys would apply pressure early with Quade King and Jalen Clifton making tough shots. During the second half, Paragould would get hot from three, and with Cersei making some crucial mistakes in the game, it would fall apart for the Lions, in the end giving Paragould the win 49-45. Our SHS wrestling teams will have their senior night tomorrow inside the PAC. They're going to be going against Conway, so make sure to take the time to come out and support our senior Lions and Lady Lions before regionals and state come our way. Going into national news, NFL, despite another gusty effort from Josh Allen and his bunch, who took on the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs down to the wire in the playoffs yet again, they were forced to watch the closing seconds on a 32-29 victory in the AFC Championship game Sunday night. Mahomes would lead the Chiefs, throwing 18 for 26 with 245 passing yards. Xavier Worthy would also put up an amazing performance with 6 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown for himself. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 seasons, and this time Saquon Barkley is along for the ride. Hurts would throw 20 for 28 with 246 passing yards with 1 touchdown. Barkley would have 15 carries and would run for 118 yards with 3 touchdowns. They will play former Eagles coach Andy Reid's Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 seasons. This will be a very exciting game to watch to see if Mahomes will complete the three-peat. In the NHL, Claude Giroux breaks 3-period tie and added an assist to rookie Levi Merlinen, added 34 saves to the Ottawa Senators, beating Utah 3-1 on Sunday night. And in the MLB, the Chicago Cubs are finalizing a trade for Ryan Presley, adding a right-hander to the back end of their bullpen, their second major offseason deal with the Houston Astros. Well, Cersei, that's all the sports updates I have for you. Now sending it back to the news desk with Brooklyn and Samuel.
Thank you, Jordan. I always look forward to getting a deeper insight on all of the in-season sports.
Well, that's about all the time we have for you today, Cersei. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cersei High Lion TV.
And to follow us on X at Lion TV, Instagram at Cersei Lion TV, and on Facebook at Cersei High Lion TV. Signing off, I'm Brooklyn Shaver.
And I'm Samuel Stubbs. See you Friday, Cersei.